I never thought I would find myself trapped in a house like this. It all started when I decided to visit the infamous Winchester Mystery House. I had heard the legends, the eerie stories, the ghostly encounters, but nothing could have prepared me for what I was about to experience. The moment I stepped inside, I felt it, a strange, heavy presence in the air. The house was unlike anything I had ever seen. It was an endless maze of hallways, doors leading to nowhere, and staircases twisting in impossible directions. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. I had read about Sarah Winchester before coming here. She was the widow of William Winchester, heir to the Winchester Repeating Arms Company. After losing her husband and infant daughter, she believed she was cursed by the spirits of those killed by Winchester rifles. The story goes that she consulted a medium who told her to build a house that never stopped growing, a house designed to confuse the spirits that haunted her. I thought it was just a legend, but standing there, surrounded by the endless corridors, I started to wonder if the spirits were still here, watching me. As I walked deeper into the house, I noticed the bizarre architecture. There were doors that opened into walls, staircases that led to nowhere, and hidden rooms tucked away in the shadows. It was as if the house itself was alive, shifting and changing around me. I wandered into what I later learned was the seance room. The air felt thick, heavy, suffocating. A sudden chill ran down my spine as I heard a whisper behind me. I turned around quickly, but there was nothing there. The door I had just walked through was gone. Panic started to set in. Had I taken a wrong turn? Had the house somehow sealed me inside? The silence was deafening, broken only by the faint sound of hammering echoing through the walls, as if the ghostly builders were still at work even in death. I moved slowly, cautiously, my breath shallow. Each step I took felt heavier than the last. The flickering candlelight along the walls cast long, eerie shadows that seemed to move on their own. I tried retracing my steps, but every hallway looked the same. I reached a dead end, a door in front of me that led to nothing but a sheer drop into darkness. Then I saw her, a shadowy figure at the end of the hallway, standing still. She was dressed in black, her face hidden beneath a dark veil. My breath caught in my throat. I wanted to run, but my feet felt frozen in place. The figure slowly turned and vanished into thin air. I couldn't explain it. Was it my mind playing tricks on me? Or had I just seen Sarah Winchester herself, still wandering her endless maze, trapped for eternity? I heard footsteps behind me, growing closer and closer. I spun around, my heart pounding, but there was no one there. The air grew colder. I could feel something. Someone standing right behind me. Then the whisper started again, growing louder, as if multiple voices were speaking at once. The words were indistinct, a jumble of syllables that sent a chill through my bones. The walls of the house seemed to close in, the floor beneath me shifting like it was alive. My vision blurred, and suddenly, I was no longer in the hallway. I was standing in a dimly lit bedroom, an old wooden rocking chair moving back and forth on its own. A mirror on the far wall reflected my silhouette, but behind me, I saw a second figure, its face twisted in an expression of agony. I turned to look, but there was no one there. I backed away slowly, my pulse racing. The whispers turned into a wail, echoing through the room, vibrating in my ears. My skin crawled as a cold breeze swept past me, carrying the scent of old wood and something else, something rotten, decayed. I had to get out. I stumbled through the darkness, reaching for the doorknob, but the door wouldn't budge. The wailing grew louder. A faint pressure settled on my shoulder, like an unseen hand gripping me. My vision blurred again, and suddenly, I was back in the hallway. I don't remember how I got out. One moment, I was lost in the twisting halls, and the next, I was outside, gasping for air, staring up at the towering house. It looked the same as before, yet now it felt different. I had stepped inside a legend, and the house had let me go, or had it. I felt an odd sensation, as if something had followed me out. That night, as I lay in my hotel room, I heard faint whispers in the dark, the same whispers I had heard inside the house. My heart pounded as I sat up, scanning the room. The air was thick with an eerie presence, and I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't alone. I turned on the light, expecting to find nothing, but then I saw it, faint footprints on the carpet leading toward my bed. I froze. My mind raced. Had something followed me from the house? Was I still trapped in its grasp? The whispers grew louder, circling around me, echoing in my ears. Then, silence. The air was still. The room was empty, but I knew something was there, watching, waiting. The next day, I tried to brush it off as a nightmare, a trick of the mind. But no matter where I went, I felt the presence lingering. Shadows moved where they shouldn't. The whispers never faded. I spoke to a local historian, hoping for answers. She listened to my story with a knowing expression. Once the house chooses you, she said, it never really lets go. Her words sent a shiver down my spine. I had stepped inside the Winchester Mystery House, thinking it was just a relic of the past, but it was so much more. It was alive, and it had marked me. To this day, I still hear the whispers in the dead of night. I still see the shadow at the foot of my bed, and sometimes, just sometimes, I dream of endless hallways, doors that lead to nowhere, and a veiled woman watching from the darkness. If you love real horror stories and want to hear more spine-chilling tales like this, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on the notifications so you never miss a story that will keep you up at night. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, and remember, some places are haunted for a reason.